All right, so today we are going to be doing the lesson 1 from chapter 3. It's located on page 191. So page 191. This is the first chapter that we're going to be doing in the book, and it's about integers and absolute value. All right, we're going to start with the definition of an integer. It says numbers like 5 and -8 are called integers. An integer is any number from the set -4, -3, -2, -1. Now the 3 little dots over here means it continues on forever in the negative direction, and it continues on in the positive direction. Means it continues without end. All right, so complete the graphic organizer. So we need to describe what an integer is. An integer is any number, so let's write this down, any number from the set, and instead of going all the way to -4, I'm just going to put my bracket here, dot, 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 comma, -1, comma, 0, comma, 1, comma, dot, dot, dot. It means it continues in both directions. Okay, picture it. So here's a picture of a number line. It just goes on and on. It's already done. So we have a picture. The number line is drawn for our picture. List some examples. You could say -4, a 0, a 2. Those are all examples of integers. Just put it down right there. List some non-examples. 10% is not an integer. The decimal 0.2 and 1/2. Those are not integers. Okay? Those are not integers. All right. Now let's go on to the real world link. The bottom of a snowboarding half pipe is 5 meters below the top. Circle the integer you would use to represent this position. It's 5 meters below, so you would use a -5, a negative number. All right, it says describe another situation that uses negative integers, a thermometer. That's one. Anything else that you can think of? Well, you can lose in football. When you lose yardage, that's like a negative number. All right, let's now go to page 192. Identify and graph integers. Negative integers are integers less than 0. They are written with a negative sign. Positive integers are greater than 0. They can be written with a positive sign, but you don't have to. Most of the time you would just write 1, 2 for a positive number. You would not put the plus sign. All right, this is important. 0 is neither negative nor positive. It is 0. All right. Integers can be graphed on a number line. To graph an integer on the number line, draw a dot on the line at its location. Now, if you have problems with this on your ebook, there'll be a little thing at the bottom of the book with tutoring. You can click on it and it will go over how to do these types of things with you. Okay, write an integer for each situation. An average temperature of 5 degrees below normal. Below would be -5. Above, 5 inches above normal would be a +5 or just a 5. Just circle those so I know you're following along. Now quickly, I'd like for you to write the answers for A and B. 6 degrees above normal and 2 inches below normal. Write your answers down on the answer blank. Okay, for the first one you could have a +6 or just a 6. Now let's go on to example 3. Graph the set of integers on the number line. See how they just put a dot on each one of them? and that's all you have to do. This is the positive 4, 0, negative 6. Let's go on to page 193. Okay, graph each set of numbers on a number line. Okay, so let's draw us a number line here. That's okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, column is here. So on this, we're going to draw a number line. 0. Our smallest number is negative 7, and the largest number is 10. I'm just going to go by 2s. Negative 2, negative 4, negative 6, negative 8, negative 10. It's just a little faster that way. Now I'm going to go to the positive area by 2s. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. All right, negative 2. Put a dot on negative 2. 8. Put a dot on 8. Negative 7. Where would negative 7 be located? Yes.
In between negative 6 and negative 8.
Right. It's going to be in between these two. That is my negative 7. I'm just going to put that on there just so we know. Negative 4. That's easy. 10. Where will negative 3 be located? Where would we locate negative 3? Too sharp.
4, no, like in between 2 and 4.
No, it won't be here. It's a negative 3.
Negative 2 and negative 4.
Negative 2 and negative 4. So it's going to be right there, and I'm just going to put a negative 3 above it. Where will 7 be located? Yes.
Nathan?
Yes, Nathan.
So it would be in between the 6 and the 8.
Right. Put a dot in between 6 and 8, and we'll just put a 7 above it so we know it's there. Now we're ready for something new, and it's called absolute value. Absolute value states is the distance between the number and 0 on a number line. Okay, negative 5's absolute value is 5. The absolute value of 5 is 5. Now, see this part right here? When it has two lines to the side, one to the left and one to the right, they're vertical lines. This indicates absolute value, and you read it. The absolute value of negative 5 is 5. That says, how far does negative 5 live from 0? It lives 5 away. It doesn't care if it's a negative distance or a positive distance. It wants to know, how far do you live from 0? Once again, the absolute value of 5 is 5. How far do you live from 0? It lives 5. It's like when you go on a trip. You don't care if you're north, south, east, or west of Disney World. You want to know how far or how long it is till you get there. So it's an absolute value is a distance from 0, the absolute value. Now, on the number line in the key concept box, notice that negative 5 and 5 are each 5 units from 0. Even though they are on opposite sides of 0, numbers that are the same distance from 0 on a number line have the same absolute value. Okay, so let's look at their examples. The absolute value of negative 4. Graph of negative 4 is 4 units from 0. So negative 4 equals 4. The absolute value of negative 4 equals 4. Now, this says the absolute value of negative 5. What's the absolute value of negative 5? 5 minus, what's the absolute value of 2? So 5 minus 2 equals 3. Okay, I want you to do these problems right now. E, F, G, write your answers to the right. You should have 8, 5, and 1. Now let's go to page 194. It says, Nick climbs 30 feet up a rock wall and then climbs 22 feet down. to a landing area. The number of feet Nick climbs can be represented using the expression the absolute value of 30 plus the absolute value of negative 22. How many feet does Nick climb? Okay, they just want to know the distance of climbing. So, the absolute value of 30 is 30. The absolute value of negative 22 is 22. So the answer is 52 feet. Some of you forgot your labels on your test on Friday. So make sure you always include your labels. Now let's look at some different examples here on page 194 in the guided practice. When you make a deposit, it's positive. Deposits are positive. So the answer is $16. A loss of 11 yards. That is negative 11 yards. Below zero, negative 6 degrees Fahrenheit.
Celsius.
That's true. Number 4, evaluate each expression. The absolute value of negative 9 is 9. This will be 18 minus 10, and the answer is 8. 11 minus 6 equals 5. Any questions? Okay, now let's go to problem number 7. Graph the set of integers on a number line. Just put a dot. You were pretty good at this. 11 is in between 10 and 12. Negative 5 is in between negative 4 and negative 6. Negative 8, we'll put a dot. Now, our essential question, why is the absolute value of a non-zero number positive? Well, anyone have an answer for that? Yes.
Because you're trying to find out how much it is between that number and zero, so it's going to be like counting apples.
Right. Distance. Distance is always positive. When you're dealing with the distance is always positive. Now, I know later on in some really advanced mathematics, they'll have some different things for you. But at this level, you've got to remember that distance is always positive. All right? Now, I'm going to stop the recording and talk about our homework assignment. You're going to do page 195 to 197.